The whole time I was seeing him, I was kind of just using it as a psychology experiment, and I didn't really like the guy. I more just wanted to see if I could break his heart. And it was fun.
So did you break his heart then?
Just a wee bit. I hope I did a little damage.
Wow. Okay. Why do you hope that you did a little damage?
I like humbling men.
You like humbling men?
Yeah. It's like my pastime.
Your pastime is humbling men? Mm-hmm. You do work at a strip club, so do you humble men there?
No, I take their money.
Wow, this woman is cold-blooded. Is she a narcissist, as most people would say? Or is she a sociopath? Or is she a psychopath?
Happened to men being the pursuers.
Y'all asked for the sequel, so here it is. Why Men Aren't Pursuing Women, Part 2.
But women are the prize because women, they got a pussy, you know what I mean? Pussy makes the world go round.
A compliment from a man means literally nothing, but a compliment from a woman. Now that's something.
I'm taken, and I still love to go shake my ass at a bar with my friends. So
Hate the attention, but then when I feel unattractive and I don't get the attention, it's like, I don't love that either.
so men are down here and women are up here.
Okay, so are women equal to men or are women superior to men?
Superior.
Okay. When it comes to dating and relationships, who is typically seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
Yeah, the woman.
Okay, so if the woman is the prize, why even bother going out with a man in the first place?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
Ladies, if he says he's got no hope, that means nobody wants him, so you shouldn't either.
Men think that they are the shit. Why do men think that they have to take money, or why do men think that women have to do cooking, cleaning, all that stuff, and all they do is go to work?
We control the world.
Okay. So if women control the world, why do so many people think it's a man's world?
How likely are women willing to accept men for just the way they are?
Not very likely. We want things, and we're not going to tell you what we want.
Why would you do that?
Because for the sake of being complicated.
So, like, what kind of effort do you make? What do you do?
I mean, obviously, if I like someone and I know I'm going to be seeing them, then I'll, put my makeup on, do my hair better than normal.
50% of adults in the United States are single. I wonder why that is.
There are a lot of cool men out here. I love the president. Let's give it up for the brothers. There's a lot of cool men out here. For the men out here. I love the president's speech saying you're looking at a feminist. What can men do leaving here? Be better. Be better at everything.
Men are taught that they have to make women happy. The fact of the matter is, you can't make anybody happy. You have to make yourself happy. Happiness is a byproduct of achievement. So for women to say that they're unhappy, it's their own fault. Anybody who says he's unhappy, it's his own fault. Everybody has to make himself or herself happy.
You're giving me such a bloody headache. Yeah, I mean, where are you from? Where are you from? Dear Lord, I would never in a million years teach my girls that they have to grow up to be reliant on a man, as you can well imagine. I would never teach my son that he should be attracted.
But Tracy, you're the same one. You're the same one who brags that she's so strong and so tough and doesn't need a man's money. Yet you're taking alimony.
City boy! City boy!
Got him. We fucking got him.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix. This is my RP experience. Peace and love to my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so that you know when I have a whole new video up. Today's video is we're going to be talking about, well, in a way, the female sociopath. Okay. Now, bear in mind, I know there are men sociopaths, bad men out there, obviously narcissists, because that word gets thrown around a bit too much. It's kind of like empaths. It's like everybody's an empath, and everybody that you don't like is a narcissist. Now, how often is that true? I believe in most people, most people have some narcissistic traits, and most people have some empathetic traits as well. But then you get people that's on the polar opposite, the extremes. I read a poll because I was curious to know how many narcissists is supposed to be in the world. And bear in mind, these supposed to be people that's been diagnosed. A lot of people don't get diagnosed the same way people don't go to like hospitals. But they'll say like 1% to 4%, and there's about 7 billion people on the earth. Bear in mind that not everybody is grown, so that's taking like babies, kids, teenagers, and stuff like that. To but to roughly say, if everybody was of age, conscious of what they are doing, say about like 7 billion, and then you have that percentage 1 to 4%, and it's supposed to be the same amount of percent with like a sociopath as well. That comes out to roughly from what I saw, about 300 million or so, and then you divide that into men and women. It's supposed to be more women than men, and of course, though, they say that more men are inclined to be narcissists and even sociopaths. But I think that's an old time thing back in the past, because I've met a lot of real evil women in my life. So not to say there are sociopaths or a narcissist, but they definitely do have the traits. Now I'm putting this video out right now because for the good guys, I'm not talking about the bad boys, the thugs, the hoodlums. I'm talking about the guys that do have a kind heart, that's trying to do the good thing out here. You need to be aware of the women that you can run into. So I'm going to separate it into this sociopath, narcissistic thing. But we're going to concentrate on the sociopath because it seems to fit, well, the characteristics seem to fit a lot of women. But anyway, let's get the definition because I am not a doctor. So we'll let a person talk on that right now. And plus a person that says she's a self-diagnosed sociopath.
This is different than sociopathy.
Yes, okay.
Sociopathy, they look a lot like the psychopaths. The difference is they were made. So some examples here. The kid who grows up in a really rough neighborhood and learns criminality to get by, or learns to be a bully, or gets involved with sort of like the wrong kids and uses a lot of muscle because that's survivalism, but it's not necessarily always comfortable for them. They just learn it. It's the person who grows up with a father who teaches them the business and teaches them how to break the rules.
Okay, so this is kind of strange because obviously I grew up in a pretty nice household. We were upper middle class or lower upper class, whatever you want to call it, just comfortable. I wasn't on the streets. I wasn't fighting for my life. I just liked stealing and I liked causing chaos because I would be extremely bored. And when I was bored, people got hurt. I just find it really weird because this is kind of all stuff I associate with sociopathy. With psychopathy, I kind of assume them to be a lot more calculated and pre-planned, but it sounds like there's a lot more in common, at least from Dr. Ramani's perspective.
Would they start sweating and have their heart race if they got pulled over?
They might. They may not feel so good about it. They'll be a little bit more uncomfortable with it, but in time they learn it. And it's almost like they get trained in not being as aroused by it. Listen, if you broke enough rules, if you lived under certain conditions of lawlessness long enough, you'd adjust to that.
Okay, look, this kind of makes sense. I don't really remember learning these responses. I feel like they always just came to me automatically, but perhaps it is learned. I don't know. This is kind of eye-opening for me.
New world order, if you will. That's what the sociopath does. And so they're the person someone who said he was actually a great kid until he got to high school. And then it seems like he got in with the wrong kids. That feels more like the sociopath. Wow. Okay, that's almost like a training that might happen from within the family, within their community, within even the job they get, some cases even within some form of military training.
Interesting. Now, the woman here, I'm forgetting her name right now. She's a self-diagnosed sociopath, and she's kind of like that Lee Hammock. That's a self-diagnosed narcissist. Now I congratulate these people for at least being honest with themselves and getting on here and exposing themselves. But in her case, even though she said that she was well off and everything, it was a clip that I did not use. You can watch her full video. I'll probably leave the link. She said that she gained quite a few of her traits from her dad, and her dad did not allow her to show emotion. If she was crying or something, he would send her to the room and say she could not come out until she had suppressed however she was acting. Now, of course, though, when women are telling the thing, I don't know if she was throwing a tantrum, acting all wild or something, or if she was just crying and just having like a little meltdown or something. Two fathers out here. We always talk about how our role is important. You gotta, like, you definitely have to discipline your kids, but see, this is why I think fathers and mothers are both important, because women's supposed to have the more of the empathy thing, and men are more like showing the direction and self-discipline. But if you happen to be one of those fathers that maybe the mother does not show that as much, you have to give your kids somewhat of a space to express themselves to a degree. I'm not saying let them get out of control, but to a degree. Anyway, this woman here, she made another video of how to manipulate men. Now, I don't want you going to her channel and attacking her. Not that it's not like I have like 100,000 people looking at my video, so I don't think that'll happen. But I'm just going to put that on there anyway. She's going to say her reasons for saying this, unlike any other women, and I do accept her reason for particularly doing this, but I want to use this as an educational tool for the good guys out here to avoid those types of women. That way you don't become damaged and then hurt another woman, because I think that's a lot of times how sometimes women do become like this, is because some guy, her father, or either some dude she dated has damaged her, and then she becomes dead inside, and then she starts taking that out on other men. Now, that's if her mom didn't teach her that particular thing. And then, of course, it's the cycle of men being hurt by women and then hurting them. So we got to stop that particular cycle right here. But anyway, let's see how she advises women to do this.
I'm a diagnosed sociopath, and this is how I seduce people. I make sure that when I leave my house, I'm dressed impeccably. I cannot overstate how important this is. When I walk into a place, I walk in like I own the place. This could be a bar, a restaurant, or even the supermarket. I have a background in pageants, so I know how to walk confidently and seductively. You need to have your shoulders rolled back, your sternum facing forward. I've seen so many beautiful women walking around hunched over, and it just makes you look like you're lower value, that you're not very confident in yourself. It's very important to appear. If I see somebody that I actually like and want to talk to, and I'm with my friends, I make myself somewhat more welcoming, so that the person doesn't think that I am going to go in and reject him right away. This kind of open body language expresses the desire to want to talk. Of course, I would never make the first move. I think this is something that undervalues you as a person or as a woman. A confident man will find a way to start a conversation with you. When you're in this conversation, it's very important not to be dogmatic, but it's also important to not be too agreeable. It shows a lack of assurance within yourself that you cannot talk about a topic without being swayed immediately. I talk about myself very rarely, and I offer only the smallest bits of information. I like to remain mysterious, And men love to talk about themselves. I guess people in general just like to talk about themselves. And that's a very important tool for you to use later on. The next phase, past the initial flirting, is dating. During this phase, love bombing is the most important thing that you can focus on. Now, when I love bomb, it is not always intentional, but it is very powerful. I give people compliments, attention, affection, the kind of love that they're looking for. I can read a person and tell what they're insecure about.
Now, I don't want to hear anything that only narcissistic men or men in general are the only ones that love bomb. Women can definitely do this. And unfortunately, men can be very susceptible to this if he has not had a lot of experiences with women, or he doesn't feel like he has a lot of options, or he feels like his self-esteem is low. Yeah, and I just had like a brain freeze because I can think as a man, well, fortunately I recently have got like a compliment, but I don't get a lot of compliments um through the year. Now, I think I get more than the average guy because I usually get at least 3 to 4 that I can think of or something, but I'm pretty sure women, they get tons of compliments, even though most of it does have to do with their looks. But sometimes y'all do get compliments that, oh, you're awesome, or you're smart, or you're amazing, and things like that. Men, usually we don't, unless if we are like the star player or something. I did get a lot when I was doing photography a lot because that was something I excelled at. So a lot of people, I was getting a lot of compliments on that. But as far as and sometimes I'll get it as that I'm a good person. But of course, sometimes I wonder, are they saying that sincerely, or are they fishing to ask me a favor later? So let's see what more she has to say.
And what they want to be reassured about. And this is not hard for me at all. Love bombing is a stage where you send messages, you call each other, you spend so much time together. Their dopamine is through the roof because of all of the compliments that they're getting. Such a fabulous time for them because it feels like they're the most interesting person in the world. And we make sure you feel that you are the most interesting person in the world. And I've never felt like this about anybody else. The goal here is to release dopamine. You want this person to feel incredible every time they're around you and every time they speak to you. The next step is false promises. So I've made a lot of promises that I had no intentions of carrying out. Don't know the extent of all of them because there have been so many, but the most common was offering lavish vacations, that I would fly them out and we'd go to a really stunning resort or hotel. Of course, I had no intentions of doing this. I also told guys that I could get them into modeling agencies, and these guys were often like 5'10", and it was like, you know, it's not gonna happen. But the ego boost that they got from these false promises kept them so attached to me. It's such a powerful motivator. Now, once you're past the false promises, you need to start future faking. This one is fun and something that also I have done with pretty much everybody. Guys have told me that they want to marry me and that they want to have children with me and move into a house in the suburbs, and they have made tangible plans to do this. This is not just once, by the way. Occasion that I'm talking about, there was a guy and I was dating him briefly. I had no intentions of dating him seriously because I go for a specific type and he just wasn't it. He kind of forcibly made me meet his parents. We went to his home. He needed to go pick something up and I was like, okay, sure. Anyway, so we get in and his parents are right there. And so I've met the family and we're making plans to move in together and, you know, start a family soon. I blocked and deleted him the next day. I've done this so many times. Future faking gets people so invested and attached, and that's exactly what you want for your next stage. For those I don't block and delete, I leave the door partially open and play the hot and cold game. Don't underestimate how powerful this is as a tool. When you start showing people the attention that you did back in your love love bombing stage, they become very attuned to it. They beg for every morsel of your attention because only you can validate them the way they need to be validated at this point. Nobody else releases that kind of positive emotion in them, the surge of dopamine and serotonin. This is directly from their interactions with you. Now, you turn this off. They will be crawling desperately to get that back. They will take any sliver of it, the tiniest amount, will make them satisfied. And this is how you get them attached to you and lower their value. They will inherently believe that they're lower value than you because you're the one who's in control of how much attention is being shared. At this point, you might develop a few stalkers or two. I mean, I think it's happened to me pretty frequently. And there's another guy that I was dating. I won't say his name. I accidentally broke up with him on his birthday. 2 years on that. And so he was parked outside my house for multiple hours and he refused to leave until I came out to talk to him. Safe to say, I never went out to talk to him and he eventually had to drive home. Sometimes I unblock these guys and mess with them again when I get bored. It's always so much fun. And they always respond to it. They're so desperate. It's fantastic. I, of course, do not do this to women. I want to make that clear because I treat women extremely well in my personal relationships.
Emotional damage.
With them. A very crucial factor in this is never giving out sexual favors. Do not partake in any sexual activity with these people. Date multiple people at a time. Let them take you out for free lunches and dinners and all of that lovely shit.
So women do not use men for free lunches and dinners?
But do not sleep with them. Do not give them that power. The reason they are chasing you so much is not only the validation and the happiness, but of course they want to sleep with you. And if you give that over, what bargaining chip do you have at this point?
Now, I don't have to do this as much now, but that's why I always would take sex off the table. When I feel like a woman is like, well, all y'all want is that, or either she's acting like she's dangling that in front of me. Some of the other stuff that she does do probably would work on me, but see, now I'm more conscious of it now, and plus I'm reinforced hearing a woman, especially a woman that somewhat my type, would employ that type of stuff right there. Yeah, I have some more to add, but I'll let her finish. It's almost done.
Now, when I get really bored of someone, I start breadcrumbing. I start leaving out little bits of, love and affection, and they will follow me to the ends of the earth to get it. Eventually, I get too tired to keep up with this needy, stupid person who won't leave me the fuck alone. And I discard. I will cut off all contact and they will be like, she just vanished into thin air, which I often do. And now you may think that I'm evil for how I behave, and I'm not going to blame my personality to sort of what I do, because we've talked about accountability on this channel. I am accountable for the things that I do. I cannot blame it on ASPD. I may have a predisposition to it, but I actively make those choices where I was before. You're thinking that I'm evil, but out in the manosphere, you have men who are talking about training women like dogs. You have Fresh and Fit, you have Andrew Tate, you have Donovan Sharp advocating for domestic violence tactics against women. And you think I'm evil for leading guys on? This is absolutely preposterous, ladies. There's so many fuckboys around right now. This is the best thing you can do. Protect yourself. Make sure you prioritize yourself. Date around. Don't sleep with anybody. Then don't leave these pigs like Andrew Tate. Don't let them ruin you. Ruin them first.
Now, I could have did what most people do and just grab some clips of hers and vilified her and did not pick that one part right there. Now, this is why, okay, I kind of agree with what you're doing, lady, because there are dudes like that. But see, this is the sad reality to this. And I know you as a sociopath don't care. But However, though, you will, because you are a intelligent woman, you will be able to understand what I'm saying here. Those guys like Andrew Tate and women that move like you, that think like you, that manipulate and use men like you do, you two are never going to meet and get together. Now, every once in a while, a narcissist and a sociopath may get together, or two sociopaths may get together, or maybe two narcissists may get together, but I believe like magnets, y'all usually repel each other apart. So y'all are going to target the easy targets. Women like you are going to target the good dudes, the nice dudes, and the simps. I can't really put them as good dudes because they are usually chasing after intimacy and validation. Even though everybody wants a little bit of validation, but that's definitely high on their list. Maybe something that they didn't get from their moms. Even though I say all men have simp at some point, but when men stay in it, I notice they usually have a certain type of domineering mom that they look up to. So they put women on the pedestal and they keep them up there. To women that have come across dudes like a Andrew Tate or a guy that really wrecked you or something like that, hey, I am sorry about that. That's unfortunate. I'm trying to think of the right words, but that's unfortunate that has happened. The thing is, I hope you can get some healing, and I hope you can attract the right type of guys. Because I think with women, especially when you tend to go for narcissistic type of men, when you come out of that, you're not going to be a good person. You're going to either be sociopathic or narcissistic yourself, will pick up quite a few traits. I know with my toxic relationship with my ex-wife, even though I think we interchanged with each other, because I know I was definitely the more empathic one than what she was, because in the world that she was with, like the music stuff, she had to be kind of like hard and coarse to a degree. I think I brought somewhat of the softness out with her. But however, once our things started to become toxic, I obviously started to pick up certain traits from her that in a way I'm glad I have that now, so a person can't easily take advantage of me or something, particularly women, because I obviously have that Captain Save a female complex. But I guess being older and going through the things that I've been through, I don't do that as much. So the leaving this conversation here, because I can keep adding and adding. I don't want this video to get too much longer, because I think the point has been already made. But I think all of you narcissistic, sociopath, psychopath, y'all need to date each other. Y'all need to get and stay with each other. Leave the empathic or either the normal people alone. Y'all just go move to your own island. Now I know that's not really going to happen. So to women watching this right here, yes, I know it's plenty of bad dudes. That's another reason why I came into the man space. I will say I don't mind saying I'm attached to that space, because I learned how to avoid being used and abused by women. But at the same time, I know all of you is not bad, and I don't want to damage and destroy innocent women out there. But I want to be able to sidestep women like this that I may come across that might be able to mirror me well and might be able to fool me. See, and even though she did not say it, this is the type of woman that will marry you, have a kid by you, divorce you, then say she never loved you, or say that she found a greater love and the love that we once had was really nothing. Any woman that says something like that, she definitely narcissistic or sociopathic or psychotic. One of the three. And I would say that to any man that does that to a woman. So anyway, give me a like, a subscribe. I hope we learned something, because I know I learned something here, and work on me, and probably, yeah, I'll stay away from marriage, because I don't know, it's too many cuckoo people out there. So have a good day. God bless.
What is wrong with you going out there, find a regular 9-to-5 person? You can function underneath that, because I'm always hearing the women say, oh, we ain't got enough money. Work with what the man's got. You can make a man your alpha. Everybody wants to go and find these top earning money. Find a 9-to-5, work regular, save your money, learn to cook and not have takeouts, and then save your money as they did before.
Then you should direct this to the men that feel upset because they're not like
the man.
No,
Why?
She's completely right. I'll tell you this. There's not a girl on this panel or on the planet today who couldn't walk outside and find a man who's going to be nice to her, loyal to her, and make her his queen. Women don't want that. So they'll sit there and go, no, I want Chris Brown. And then they'll go try and get Chris Brown. Then Chris Brown will cheat. And they'll be like, I can't believe you cheated. I am devastated. Well, what the fuck do you think's going to happen?
Dirty word. Your ego has driven you out of truth. You only played yourself, got no game.